my post on Threads. So this is my post on Threads. Or maybe I should go to reaction. Yeah, that's much better. So, your boy Danger's Voice of People's Choice went viral on Threads. So, here's what I said. Maybe I'm getting older, but it still annoys me that Peter Parker refers to Aunt May as just May in these newer Spider-Man movies. That woman raised you, Peter. Where's your respect for your elders? That woman is Aunt May to you. That's what I said. And then it went crazy. As you can see, 11K likes. And mind you, it was at when I woke up this morning, it was at 5K. It was at like 5K this morning. And now it's 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It is at 11K, 746 comments, like crazy. So then I'm like, you know what? I'm streaming tonight. We're going to talk about this on stream. This post went double plastic on X, Twitter, but it went viral on Threads. Join us tonight, and we're going to talk about it. So then I hit up Fire Oni, Hino Kami, and I said, hey, we're going to have some company tonight. Because I told people to come through, so people's going to be coming through to talk about this. So, so let's read some of these comments. I was getting some comments like this one comment got 8K. So I'm gonna read a bunch of these comments, right? And then I'm gonna tell you like my take and how I grew up. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. So, make sure you follow. Make sure you hit that like button if you're on YouTube. So here's the first comment: comic book bullies. Their relationship is different from a regular aunt you see every Thanksgiving. May is basically his mama. For all we know, she could probably told him to call her that. Valid, but here's my thing with this. Basically his mama, so that's where I say there should be more respect there by him formally always calling her Aunt May, because she raised them. That's basically his mama. I haven't seen any evidence to the chart where like in the comics or any place else, I haven't seen any evidence of her saying to Peter, just call me May, don't call me Aunt May. So that one got 8K. There's people that was agreeing with that. It was weird at first as an Asian person of Asian descent, but I think it fits them. This May is so young, she probably didn't think she'd be taking care of a kid. The relationship felt more like a younger, older sibling dynamic to me. I felt that way until like, I felt like she was the cool aunt until she found out Peter was Spider-Man. So in these newer Spider-Man movies, like she was kind of like that cool auntie. But then like she found out he was Spider-Man, and that was like the first time in the movies that you saw her being like really stern with Peter. Like she was really stern with Peter. That was like, what? How could you not? Peter, like she was like, that was the first time you saw her being stern. Any other time, she's kind of like happy-go-lucky. She's cool auntie. She's the actress Marissa Tomei. A lot of people think she's attractive, so they're like, oh yeah, my man. I want to be the auntie slayer. People really like Marissa Tomei as Aunt May. But yo, this got people in the tizzy. This whole thing. My nephew just says my name. It's fine. I call my auntie Trisha just Trisha sometimes, but I have nothing but love and respect for her. So some people were like, yeah, it doesn't matter as long as you still respect the person. I can get with y'all with that. I'm 30. I'm only 14 years older than my 16-year-old nephew. He just called me by my first name too. Now calling her May displays their bond. Exactly this. I thought I was the only very young kids in single digits said aunt and uncle. Nah, I'm 32. I still call my uncles uncles. Same here. I'm 40. All my aunts and uncles, they still aunt such and such, uncle such and such. in my experience, I only really use aunt or uncle when I'm talking about them to other people. Although it's situational if I'm using a nickname for them, like Uncle Pretzel. It's part of it's a part of it. Absolutely gets used, but usually it's just their first name. They probably have a similar dynamic given the era. I have certain nieces and nephews who call me by my name, and I love it. There's no need for formalities when you're that close. My aunt and I are 10 years apart, and growing, she felt more like a sister than an aunt, so I call her by her first name. But my other aunt, R.I.P., I call her Aunt X, and it depends on the relationship and age because my aunt now older wants my siblings to call her Aunt X. Yeah, you get sometimes you get older and you want to get that distinction. For me and my family, so my sister and my brother are sister Danger and brother Danger are 11 and 12 years older than me. My sister had her children really young. So I have a nephew that's only 9 years younger than myself. And I never required him to call me uncle, like my first name, right? It was kind of instilled in him by the other people of the family to call me that. I mean, now he just said when he refers to me now, he just says he'll say Unc. Be like, yo, Unc, what's up, Unc? Like he'll call me Unc. But like when I was younger, like say I'm 13, and I'm 13, and I think I was like 13, and then when the first time I realized when they was like, hey, because he said my name, and then my mother, his grandmother was like, it's Uncle such and such. I'm like, ooh. So like the elders of the family instilled that in my family, even though that we weren't that far apart. So like I've been an uncle since I was 9 years old. Thank you, big sis. I've been an uncle since I was 9 years old. That's like even now that I'm older, I'm 40 now. Like I don't get upset when people call me Unc. They be like, yeah, yo, chill out, Unc. Like trying to like insult me. I'm like, man, I've been an uncle since I was 9. Like that doesn't insult me anymore. That's not an insult to me. Like somebody that hasn't been an uncle, somebody else that might be insulting, but for me, I'm like, yeah, I've been uncle since I was 9. Like all you did was say something factual to me. So yeah, this got people down the line. Maybe, and hear me out here, she did not want him to refer to her as aunt. Maybe she just wanted him to call her May. Did we consider that? Yeah. I mean, things like that are usually something that the child learns early age, which means they could have very well corrected him if it was required. The way he reacted when she died shows exactly how much he loved and respected her. My nieces call me by my first name. They never say aunt to me. It doesn't bother me at all. Like a lot of people were mad at me over this. Like I was getting DMs and people were like, yo, we got bigger fish to fry than this. We got people starving in Africa. I'm like, bruh, I was never that serious, yeah. Like somebody sent me a DM talking about we got people starving in Africa. We got the black community in the. I'm like, bruh, I was never really that serious. Maybe I should have put jokes at the end of this because people were legit upset at me. I was getting really nasty DMs and stuff. I'm like, yeah. And then okay, this person. My brother-in-law gets called by just his name. They used to call him Uncle T, but then he started responding back as yes, niece and nephew XYZ. So now they call him by his name. He did it to himself. Most of my friends' parents growing up, I called them by their first name. This is very normal in white culture. So I don't want to rag on white people too much. I don't want to rag on y'all. So don't think that I'm some type of super black, Hotep type of person or some super pro-black type of person like Dr. Umar. But I noticed a lot of black people, a lot of white people, a lot of y'all was the ones that was mad about this. In the Spider-Man, so my man Hidokami, in the Spider-Man series, when Aunt May was an old woman, she was referred as Aunt, but most likely it's an age thing. Yeah, they made Aunt May younger in this version of Spider-Man that they're doing in the MCU. They made her really younger, and then they made her attractive because a lot of people think I personally, she alright. But a lot of people say, yo, Marissa Tomei, like the actress, they think she's it. That's it for them. Like she does it for them. For me, she doesn't personally. But a lot of people find Marissa Tomei attractive. So I understand, For me, no. But for a lot, but you hear a lot of people say the same thing. You're like, okay, she must be attractive. But I look at her, I'm like, she alright. She alright. I'm like, sure. I didn't think who everybody else think that was attractive, and I didn't think she was attractive at all. It was who was the actress that played Mary? The actress that played Mary Jane in the 2000 Spider, Kirsten Dunst. Kirsten Dunst that played Mary Jane in the original Spider-Man movies, the 2000s ones with Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire. The Sam Raimi directed it with Tobey Maguire. Hollywood, for everybody thought she was attractive. I never thought that woman was attractive. Yeah. I was actually upset that they cast her as Mary Jane. I'm like, that cast her as Mary Jane? Her? But then there was people that was like, oh my goodness, well, Kirsten Dunst, oh my goodness. I'm like, all right. I try to, but it was like I had to be real with myself. What? No. I'm sorry, yeah. I'm not rolling with y'all on that one. Marissa Tomei, I could roll with y'all a little bit, because even when Marissa Tomei was really like younger, in her 20s and 30s, I thought she was attractive. Like now she's like okay, but it could just be an age thing. She's older or whatever. But yo, Kirsten Dunst was never cute. I'm be real with y'all, yo. Like, yo, if that's what you like, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, then you had no problem with that, with her being Mary Jane. Me, I was like, y'all could have did better. I haven't called any of my aunts or uncles by anything other than their names since I was 5. And since you brought up age for science, I would say that I am 30. Okay. I literally do this with my aunt. It's not a big deal. Yeah, I told you, it's a lot. White people, my Caucasian brothers and sisters, like, it's really y'all that I'm upset about this. There was like one black person that I saw when I was actually scrolling through these comments like throughout the day, that actually was like had a problem with this. But then there was a lot of people that were of Asian, Latino, and black African descent. They were like, nah, I gotta call everybody aunt and uncle. Like, I'm too Asian for this conversation. I'm too black for this conversation. Like, people were literally like, nah, like, it don't go down like that in my family. I do not call my aunts and uncles Aunt Jane or Uncle John. I know who they are. I don't need to clarify the relation when I'm addressing them. I don't know. LOL. I don't go to nice to see you, brother Eric and cousin Joe. No, and my whole thing is like, it's a respect thing. It's a respect thing. In my family, it's a respect thing. Like, yo, you're like calling them aunt, uncle is showing respect to them and recognizing that this person is your elder. Just like I was as well. I wanted the girl from that 70s show because she had the Mary Jane personality from the animated series. Yo, what's her name? You're talking about Donna from that 70s show. I think she might have been too young. She might have been too young when that movie came out, because she might have been too young. Oh man. We're gonna look that up in a second. Please remind me. We're gonna look up how old she was and how old Kirsten Dunst was. She would have been perfect, but she's also really tall. Like in real life, she's tall. So, and I don't think Tobey Maguire was that tall. So maybe that would have conflicted. Oh man, I'm just not seeing the YouTube chat. What's going on? Just saw your page earlier. Just commented on the Lawson Endowment. Check it out when you got time. You familiar with the Black Girl Film Festival? No, I have no idea what you're talking about, Mr. Alcuban. Why Spider-Man was in high school the first movie? Yeah, like I said, I gotta check their ages. We're gonna come back to that here coming, because you might have been onto something there. and I think I don't even know if that, because I know Kirsten Dunst wasn't a natural redhead. They had to dye her hair red. I think Kirsten Dunst is like a natural blonde. They had to dye her hair red for that. And I think that actress, I don't know her real name, Donna from That 70s Show. I think she was a natural redhead. So that she would have been perfect. But Kirsten Dunst was the bigger name. You tracking any indie gaming hardware manufacturers or publishing startups? No, I'm not tracking any of that. Yeah, so okay. I always have parents. I always call my parents siblings by their first names. Oh, that was a definite no right here. I've always called my parents siblings by their first names. No, I could never do that. I call my grandparents siblings aunt or uncle. My generation is more casual with our aunts and uncles. When we all together, you can't tell which kids belong to which adults. Our generation is the same with us, so I love it. Yeah, that was a no in my family. My niece and nephew always call me my first name versus Aunt Bridget. It's on and off when they do it. I was young when they were born. It's not uncommon. I mean, same thing with me. Like, I never required my nephews. I have one niece. And I never required my nephews to call me Unc. The elders in my family required them to call me Unc. So like my parents and anybody and my aunts and uncles, they required that from them. So all the grandchildren who I would be their aunt and uncle, I would be their uncle. All the grandchildren in the family, no, they had to call me uncle. Like they required that. So like I never said, hey, you gotta call me Uncle Reg. Like, no. Like the elders in the family was like, no, it don't go down like that. So to me, especially, and then the situation with Peter and Aunt May, she raised him. That was like his mom. So it was like, yeah, bruh. Like, cause I don't know many parents, even amongst white parents and most liberal parents. I don't know many parents that allow their kids to call them their first name. Like my sister does it. My sister does it to my mother all the time. She'll call my mother by her first name jokingly, and each time she does it, I'm like, my sister is 50, and I'm still scared she's gonna get slapped. She do it. Like she'll say my mother's first name, and I'm like, because I'm just waiting for her to get slapped or waiting for her to get something thrown her way. Like, no. So I know amongst parents that don't happen too often. Even the most liberal parents is like, hey, I'm your mom, I'm your dad, like, for real. So I thought maybe with Aunt May and Peter, like, that respect will be shown because, like, yo, like, she raised you, brother. Like, that's like your mom. Show her the proper respect. Like, at least that's the way I was thinking. But people kind of took this and was like, nah, my aunt that I'm closer to is just Mar. She didn't raise me the way May raised Peter. My other aunts who I love, they have always been aunt such and such. It depends on the relationship. So yeah, so like a lot of people were saying like, yeah, it's because like my aunt or uncle isn't that much older than me. So the relationship is more like we were more like siblings than brother and sister. I can't all adults except for my mom and grandparents by their first names. I'm 30. See, and that was a black woman there. So I have a lot of aunts and uncles that don't like to be called aunt because they are younger. Auntie or tias, I'm Mexican. It's for elders. But to be honest, it's more about who you have trust with or not. So yeah, balanced take. But yeah, folks was mad. Like it's like 700 comments on this thing and still going. If I go up now, it's probably changed. I go up now, look, 702. It's been 2 more comments since I started. It was 750 when I first looked at this thing, man. So like, yeah, it's crazy. People was upset. I was like, damn. So let me scroll up and go to like these are the most recent comments. It's, it's still better than yelling Martha though. My nephew never called me out. He basically grew up as a sibling since my younger sister is like 15 years. Is 15 years older than him. He says it feels weird to call us aunts. So, he white. I have twin aunts that are only 7 years older than me. So yeah, so it was a lot of that. We grow up more like sisters, not aunts or niece. I call them by their names whenever I've never called them an aunt, A or B, and it felt weird when I even tried. They even, what the hell are you trying to call me aunt for? Now my kids call them aunt, and so it depends on the family situation. I do have aunts and uncles that I call them auntie and uncle because of the age difference between us, and that works. Yeah, not my family. My family is from the Caribbean. Like, I cannot do that. I had an auntie that I couldn't even remember her name, but I knew her face because it was an auntie that I don't see that much. I knew her face. I called her auntie the entire time. And that was safe for me because, number one, she's much older than me, of course. So I had to give it that proper respect. Number two, I couldn't remember which aunt this was. I was like, because my father has 6 sisters, like 5 or 6 sisters. So I always get I know all their names, but sometimes I get their names and their like faces mixed up. So I'm trying to see. So I'm just like, auntie has been safe for me. Like, I'm just like, when I'm like, my father's from the Bahamas. When I went to the Bahamas last, I was like, yeah, auntie. Yay. Hey, auntie. Yeah, but I'm sorry to my Caucasian brothers and sisters. It was really y'all that had an issue with this. Not a lot of folks with my hue actually commented on this. Like, y'all was upset. Y'all was Miss May sound better. But see, that's like his mom knows. This guy said Miss May sound better. I'd rather have that, to be honest, me from a personal standpoint. But you know what I'm saying. In my experience, the only reason I'm uncle when I'm talking about them to other people, a situation. Oh yeah, I read this one already. Yeah. I literally do this with my aunt. It's not a big deal. And see, look, somebody, nigga, shut up. She was clearly not tripping. Like, stuff like, come on, brother. Don't let this internet stuff get you messed up. Cause if y'all see me in person, y'all wouldn't say that. This kind of bullshit is why people don't take nerds seriously. Like, yo, I thought maybe I gotta put joke next to this next time because people really thought I was really serious. People was telling me, people was really upset. My only thing with this Aunt May situation is that there is no Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben and his death is debatably the reason Peter decided to fight crime. Yeah, I guess they got tired of killing Uncle Ben. Remember every time they did a Spider-Man movie, they're like, I'm gonna reboot Spider-Man, and then they gotta kill Uncle Ben again. It's like, I'm tired of Uncle Ben dying. I never called an aunt or uncle, just call them by their name. You clearly didn't understand the difference between old aunt and a young aunt. That's old folks formality. My aunt raised me and I call her by her first name. Okay. I'm like that. Why are you getting annoyed with your own culture? You people do it all the time. Don't act like you guys are different. Where that came from. Nigga, well, hold up, bro. Hold up, bro. We gotta check you out. I don't know. Look a little. You don't look a little. Look like you just got a tan, my brother. I don't know. I'm just gonna report this. I'm just gonna report that just because I wasn't so sure. unsanctioned use of the N-word. And if he's watching, yes, I did it. Do something. She definitely insisted that he drop and just call her May. I want evidence of this. People have told me this. I have not seen any evidence, and I checked the comic before the stream, and there was no evidence of this. He just called her May out of nowhere. And then I'm like, why is he calling her May? And then I'm thinking it was just maybe like a Freudian slip. No, he kept doing it. So I was like, nah, this is clearly like he's never called her Aunt May ever. I can't believe this is an issue, LOL. Why did I read Parker Posey the first time? You must be exhausted. Black people, hey, you're right though. This is such a non-issue. She probably told her to call her that. Yeah, folks. Like, I was never really serious about this. I want to be clear. I was never super serious. It was kind of like, I'm annoyed. But then, I kind of choked it up to. This sounds like white people shit. Kind of choked it up to that. Telling you. That's kind of all I kind of choked it up to, because it was a lot of my Caucasian brothers and sisters. I love y'all. But it was kind of a lot of y'all that was upset about this. Because if you look at everybody that's commenting, you see their picture. It is somebody said, it is, maybe I may prefer to made to be feel younger, even though she's the youngest of the aunts anyway. Excuse me. Again, I still have no evidence of this. It is a cultural difference. I've seen it on different sides of my feeling. My father's side, which has a lot of Southern American culture in it, says aunt and uncle. However, my mother's northern family does not. My stepmother's Midwest West does not either. The Aunt May I grew up knowing. Yeah, you gotta call her aunt. Look, this is your elder, right? You see, this is the Aunt May I know. Not hot, sexy, flexy Marissa Tomei. This is the Aunt May we know. Old. Looks like she's gonna be cooking a pot roast for dinner. Look like she's gonna knit you a sweater. This is the Aunt May we know. Not sexy, flexy Marissa Tomei dating SHIELD agents. No. This is the Aunt May we know. She look like she gonna go home, knit you a sweater, and then say, "Hey, there's gonna be a pot roast on the stove when you get home." This is the Aunt May we know. I almost always call my aunties by their first name and still do. If it pissed off, she would have said something. Excuse me, that's mommy May to you. Yeah, see, that she raised him. That was his mom. Absolutely correct. Yeah, so I don't know. It went back up for some reason. Most of my friends' parents growing up insisted I call them by their first name. This is very normal in white culture. Oh, this was a no-no right here. Like, my friends' parents, I would have to call them Mr., whatever their last name was, Mrs. or Miss, whatever their last name was. I could not call them by their first name. Heck no. Like, if it was Mr. if his last name was Brown, I had to say Mr. Brown. If her last name was Johnson, I had to call her Mrs. Johnson. Like, I know that was a no. And then even when they would be like, "Oh, you don't have to call me that," I'm like, I straight up tell them, I ain't trying to get slapped. I ain't trying to get slapped. Hell nah. So they would just laugh and they'd be like, "Okay, like, yeah, your parents did that to you." Like, they would kind of just leave it alone. Like, yeah, your parents did that to you, because we ain't tripping, but like, if you're gonna get in trouble, just keep doing what you're doing, my boy. Yeah, man. Yeah, folks. So I can keep going with this. Look, I was raised in a multi-generational situation. I was the first kid of the generation of my two aunts and uncles and an aunt that lived in the home. They felt more like older siblings and then my eldest. It took until I was 5 before I stopped calling my mom by her. You called your mom by their first name? I was the first kid of my generation of my two. Maybe I read that wrong. I'm reading it over. I was raised in a multi-generational situation. I was the first kid of my generation, and two of my aunts and an uncle still lived in the home. They felt more like older siblings than my elders. It took until I was about 5. I stopped calling my mom by her first name and snitching on her whenever she tried to discipline me. Bruh. Hell no, not my family. Not in a lot of people's family. You're calling your mom by her first name. Chris Rock had a joke about that. It was like I already know what's gonna happen to your kids if your kids call the grandmama mama and his mama Pam, he going to jail. He's like, you ain't saving college money, you're saving bail money. That's usually what this leads to. Like you telling on your mother to your grandma. I bet you my man was bad in school, man. I'm telling you, like, yeah. Think about this. The aunt may really treat him as a nephew. So I said that earlier. I said it was earlier. It was like the only time I felt like she was really stern with Peter is after she found out he was Spider-Man. Like before that, she was kind of the happy-go-lucky aunt or parent, I would say. And then she found out she was Spider-Man. And that's the first time in the movies that we saw her being really stern with him. Like, nah, you're Spider-Man. Why didn't you tell me this? You got to sit down and tell me this thing. Like, no, you got it. Like, she was really stern with him after that. And then she kind of loosened up as I think the last movie before this other one. I didn't see this new one yet because she's dead in this one. But in the last movie she was in, she was kind of like, chill. But like right after she found out Spider-Man, that's when she started being really stern. Before she found out she was Spider-Man, she wasn't really that stern. Found out he was Spider-Man, now she's stern. And then like before she died, she was kind of cool. So yeah. So I think for like 5 minutes. This music's too loud, let me know. Because in my headphones, it sounds really loud. For over 20 years, I used to call my uncle by just his name, and for the life of me, never understood why that's his name. I wasn't disrespecting him. I started disrespecting him when he said I did. Stop making disrespect out of thin air. Times change. That boy loves his aunt. I agree. I agree with that. He was never really disrespectful to his Aunt May. Like he was never outright disrespectful to his Aunt May. I would say let's level there. Like he was never like really disrespectful to his aunt. He loved his aunt and he treated his aunt with respect. In my family and a lot of other families that in my family is huge. Like this would be considered disrespect. And even though you're not outright disrespecting people, like this would be disrespect. And I know a lot of other black families that feel this way. So that's why I posted the thought. I didn't expect it to put y'all in the tizzy like this. Y'all was really upset. You was mad as hell. Again, my white brothers and sisters, y'all was the most upset. I got nothing no love for white people. I got nothing for love for y'all. Like, you're not racist, we good. Like, white people have been increasingly less formal with their families since the 50s. Maybe this May was like, I'm too young and hot for an honorific. Use my first name. Yeah. Yeah, you a milk before cereal type of dude, huh? If you don't get this reference, this is a reference from Get Out, where they she was drinking the milk before she put the milk before the cereal. I feel like you're highlighting what you missed because I think the comments prove it. It was an endearment in tone and this emotional guardedness given the situation. Some of you are clearly bored. Oh, yeah. All right, folks. I think we done beat this topic to death. We done beat the topic to death now. I was like, I don't know if y'all actually. So I actually wanted to show y'all a dream car, but we can go into that. A dream car that I was thinking that